Okay. Hi guys. Hi Debbie. Hi Rachel. Hi Tracy. Hi Victoria. How you doing? Oh, you're home, Rachel? Awesome. That is awesome news. Well, I have finished quilting all 5 quilts, but I want to tell you guys what I did. This little quilt here was one of my smaller quilts that I made. Remember this one, guys? This was the smaller quilt. Remember this one, all the pretty colors. Well, I went onto Facebook because I belong to a lot of groups in Thunder Bay. And while I was quilting this yesterday, I was thinking to myself, boy, this would really be really cheery and brighten up a little girl's life to have a quilt like this. So I went in there and I posted a post and pictures of this quilt. So the front and the back of the quilt is all the pieces when I pieced all the pieces together. So anyways, I went into the group and I posted that I would like to donate this quilt to any little girl under the age of 10 years old that has underlying health issues that would keep her warm and safe. Well, I found someone this morning, and it's a little 8-year-old girl in Thunder Bay, and she is battling tumors all inside of her, and she has to go for a lot of surgeries. Now, her mom sent me a picture of her wrapped in a crocheted blanket. So I thought this couldn't go to a much more needed child than this little girl that is defeating tumors that are being constantly removed out of her and they keep coming back. So her mom said has undergone a lot of surgeries, but she sent me a picture of her and it's just so precious. She's only 8 years old, and I thought, oh my God, she will love this quilt and it gets to go with her wherever she goes. So the mom's coming to pick it up tomorrow. So I donated this quilt. When I was quilting this yesterday, I was like, this would really cheer up a little girl. It's just very, very little girlish. Lots of bright, cheery colors in it. And that's basically what I did with this quilt. I gave it away. It's not a huge one. I mean, it's not small, so it'll definitely wrap up that little girl, for a bit. Keep her nice and warm while she's undergoing some hospital procedures. I just think it's a wonderful pay it forward gesture to this little girl. So it's nice size and it'll keep her nice and warm, and that's all to me. That's all that matters. And with the mom sending me a picture of the mom and the little girl wrapped in an Afghan, it obviously brought tears to my eyes. So I was just like blown away at it. So, good morning, BJ. Hey, Martha. Debbie, I know that would be a lot of fun, but I don't know if the mother would want me. I didn't give out the name. I don't know if the mother wants me to do that, but she sure said that her daughter, and these are her favorite colors, is purples. I'm like, who doesn't love purple? So, and there's a lot of purple in this. So I will definitely ask her mom, Debbie, for her address, and I will get back to you in private message. And I'm sure her daughter will just absolutely love cards. They always make little kids smile, no matter what, even if they can't read them. They, when you're sick and you're undergoing all kinds of health like that, having something just given to you This little girl will probably treasure this for as long as she lives. This quilt will probably go with her for many, many, many years. And I made my own little tags, and I'm going to show you how I made my little tags. Actually, I made them for all my quilts. So this one here, I just sewed it, and it says "Handmade with Love" by Ruby Lockwood 2020. And I'm going to say, I am going to sew this into the binding. This one here is and I starched them. I made them really starchy. So this one is for my Broken Dishes quilt. No, sorry, for the Star Garden quilt. This one. This one is for my pineapple quilt because these are the fabrics that were in the actual quilt. So that's going in the pineapple. And this one is going into my Jeffries. And I forgot to do something. I wanted to put a little heart on this one. So I am going to put, and I just used a Sharpie, a fine tip Sharpie. So I thought, okay, why not put a little heart on my husband's. Handmade with Love. Actually, I'm going to put a little heart on all of them. So what I did is I just took a piece of fabric from the actual quilt and I just sewed up the sides and turned it inside out or inside right. You can see this part's still open. You guys are probably not seeing nothing because I'm so far away. Let me come up a wee bit closer. Yeah, let's move on over a bit. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, I just took a little piece. Like you can see, they're all different sizes. I didn't even fret over the size of it. And I wrote on it before I starched it, because the starch to me kind of locked in this permanent ink. Look at how cute they look with the little hearts. And you got to leave room over here because when you turn the binding over, you want the binding not to cover up your work. We're running out of room, so I'll just put the heart right here. So there we go. I love this one for my husband. So let's put an arrow through it. Shot through the heart and you're okay. You give love a bad name. I do? Oopsies. Oh, that's awesome, Debbie. Hi, Deborah. Good morning. So yeah, you can make your own little tags. You don't need to pay anyone to do it. I messaged someone and asked them if they would embroider me some tags. Hi, Helen. If they would embroider me some tags, and she wanted $8 and I needed 5 tags, and I'm thinking, no, I'm not paying you $8 for one tag. That's $40 for 5 tags when I could go online and get 50 of them made for $29. I'm thinking, yeah, no, I ain't paying you $40. And then she goes, well, I'm sorry, but I paid almost $20,000 for my machine. And I'm thinking, well, I ain't paying you for your machine. Good Lord. So anyway, these are going to get sewn in, and I'm going to show you how I did this. Like I said, it's just 2 pieces of quilt of the cotton that came from the quilt. This one didn't quite come from that green one, but the color matched so perfectly, I just used it. This one is definitely from the Broken Dishes quilt. This is from Jeffrey's quilt. And this is definitely from my pineapple quilt that I hated making. Oh, I hated it. How are you, Helen? Welcome. Water Girl Quilt Company. Oh, cool, Debbie. I'm going to have to check that out. Anyway, that's all I'm doing is working, but I will show you guys all the quilts that are done. You can see these labels are nice and stiff because I really starched them on both sides. And I mean, I heavily starched them. So this one is the Star Garden quilt. And you can see here, I did all swirls in this purple area here. These are all swirls. Over here are all hearts. In the big diamonds, there's hearts in there. And oops, see, I've got some threads that I did not finish trimming, so some of these I have to get some threads trimmed off them, but I don't care. And in the border here, I just done that figure 8. And over here, I just did the stippling. So you can see the stippling and the 8. So you can see all the swirls in this. So this one, and it's all squared up and trimmed up, ready to get the binding on it. And you have to excuse me, I'm going to be clearing my throat because my allergies have been at me for 2 days now. And I'm really not liking it. I just saw a thread too. Anyway, that's the Star Garden. The pineapple quilt has all beautiful swirls. I just love this. It just looks like it was done on a machine, on a quilting machine. And the back of it, you can see the swirls even more on the backing as opposed to the front, because the backing is very dark and I just used a light thread and made swirls all over it. And this trim, oh my gosh, this trim just sets this quilt right off. This eyelet trim that Mary sent me. Do you see the shimmer and shine in it? Isn't it just gorgeous? It just sets this quilt right off. So beautiful. And this one, wow, this is actually my most favorite quilt, is the Broken Dishes quilt. And this one here, I did all hearts on the whole quilt. I quilted hearts throughout the whole entire quilt. Look at the back. You can see all the hearts. It just turned out so beautiful. I mean, literally beautiful. It's a big quilt. It's nice size. But I really like how the On Point diamonds have, because it's just plain big, plain white. Look at how how gorgeous all the hearts look just in the center of it. I could have done a big flower, but why? This is so easy to do. The hearts are one of the easiest things to make, Debbie, honestly. I just think this made the white pop in the quilt. So, you know, it's just, hi, Angelina. So, thank you, everyone. This has been a real challenge, getting everything quilted. I believe me, my back was breaking off yesterday. I ran into some problems in my Star Garden quilt because my threads weren't working. I was ripping out a lot of stitches, so I didn't even bother going live because I was too busy ripping stitches out and trying to get my bobbin fixed and corrected. So I finally got that done, and then I just finished up the quilt, and then I started on that. I only had the little one left. So, hi Cynthia, good morning. Do you sell the quilts? If so, how much? They're gorgeous. Well, I don't even know what to sell a quilt for, Angelina. I just know that they're a lot of work, and I have seen some quilts online. This one here, right, this one in particular, called Star Garden, on Shabby Fabrics. This particular quilt here sold for $695. The one that, I guess it was their demo one that they made, and they sold it for $695, and this was finished. It was binded, everything. So I really don't know. This one is not as big as this one. This one is huge. I could have swore I was making a smaller quilt, but Yeah. No, they are definitely worth more than 400, Debbie. If you go look online, some of these patterns are worth a lot of money. Like they're asking six, seven, $800 for one of these quilts, and we're talking like a queen or, you know, this one here is the same size because it's their kit. And this one they sold it, and it said sold right on the picture for $695 US. That is what somebody paid for this quilt from Shabby Fabrics. And I have to say, just because it wasn't quilted by a professional quilter, I still say that this looks absolutely beautiful. Lap quilts are usually 600. So there is the back. You can see all my beautiful designs in the back. It's hard to see because of the forget-me-nots in it, but you can see it's all bordered, and I didn't bother to, you know, trace around all of that. And yeah, they're not, and I really don't remember how big this one is. I know this one's not as big as the Broken Dishes one either. So this one is beautiful. I just love this. Even though it was a lot of work, I didn't even want to do it. Made by Ruby Quilt. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Now, here's an up-close one of the one for my husband, who, this one is massive. And this one I just done all stippling on his because it was just the quickest way, and it's for a man, so I didn't want to do anything, you know, girlish. I didn't want to make swirls. I didn't want to make hearts. I just wanted to keep it really simple for him. And the back of it, it looks just as stunning because it's all Lord of the Rings fabric. And he's actually very excited to use this quilt, but I've been avoiding it because I don't want him to use it. But anyway, I am going to bind it today, and I'm going to get him to go throw it in the washer because it should be washed before he uses it. It's pretty stiff. And once it goes into the dryer, all the little shrivels will show up in between all the quilting. So that's what makes it just go bang, pop right out. So I am going to get him to throw this in the washer today after I get it all bound so he can use it tonight. Boo-hoo. I didn't want him to use it. I wanted it to be for show, but why make a quilt if you aren't going to use it? I do too, BJ. Or sorry, Tracy. I love seeing all the quilting lines on this. I really do. And I'm not embarrassed by my quilting because this stippling is just, it turned out so wonderful that it just, I don't know. This is a very heavy, it's a big quilt. Very big quilt. Yeah, this one here was amazing to make. And this will be actually the first one I'm going to bind today. Is this one. It's all trimmed. I've got everything all squared and trimmed up. Everything's all nice and cut off. I did that yesterday, and it took me, I don't know how many hours to do that. And I got all the binding ready for all the quilts. So I spent a good part of the day sewing, and then I just had to go in the living room and sit down at 2:30ish, I think, or 3 o'clock because my back was killing me. So we are going to bind this quilt. Now, I made a little tag, so it says handmade with love, but the seam is on this side. Other ones are on this side. So I'm going to put this near the bottom. So I'm going to show you where I'm going to stick this because I want it to go. Wait, I got to sew the binding on first. So let's get this binding all sewed on. So I need as much room as possible. And I need the top of the quilt. So I am going to zoom out now because I am way too close for you guys. This material here, Debbie, if you're talking about the Lord of the Rings, this was on sale at Fat Quarter Shop. And same with the panel. The middle panel is what I cut for the attic windows. So as last time I checked, they still had these panels at Fat Quarter Shop. Just type in Lord of the Rings. Oh, BJ, thank you, hon. I'm not. I'm not going to second guess it because I do what I can. I'm not a, I'm not a professional, but I am, people are going to be more critical of their own work than anyone else. So I know I've made a few mistakes on some of these quilts, but I'm not perfect and you ain't going to see it anyway, huh? Because I ain't going to tell you where it is. But this panel, Debbie, I believe you can still get it for the attic windows. And then I just bought a whole bunch of fabrics to put, like I bought a jelly roll, and that's what I used. Or no, sorry, I didn't buy jelly roll. I bought a whole bunch of different fabrics, and I just cut them into, that's how I got all these bindings, or all these borders. Is, remember, I used a brown fabric. I ordered this fabric here because it was, it's very close to the color that was in here. It's almost like a light, very light mocha brown. Thank you, guys. So, yeah, and then I made the little 9-patch. This is called a 9-patch block. So I made 9-patch blocks. And then I took the rest of my fabrics and I made borders with them here. And then I put a piece of brown in there just to separate the differences in the Lord of the Rings. So I liked the dark and the light there. And I did the same on the side. The only thing is, I did not put a second border. I did not put these top borders on the side because the quilt was already very wide. And I couldn't make it any wider because this just fit on my quilt frame. If I would have made this any wider, I wouldn't have been able to quilt it on my quilt frame. So it was almost the full 84 inches wide. So it's a pretty big quilt. And I didn't, and this backing here, I did have some fabric with that. Like, look at Gandalf. These are so beautiful. Jeff is going to love being cuddled up into this blanket. He's a blanket kind of person, even in the middle of summer. Debbie, yes, this is my own pattern. Nobody showed me how to do this. I cut my own pattern out. I used for an attic window, you have to take a panel and you got to measure your panel. I did show how to do this, and you have to cut each piece of that panel evenly, all the pieces. So this one had 4 rows with 4 across that I cut. And you got to cut them evenly so that all your blocks match up. And then you've got to cut a light, a medium, and then I used a dark fabric in between to make the panes look separated. Like this is the pane of the window, and this is looking on inside of it. But yeah, this is my own pattern. No, there's no quilt made like this. This is a one of a kind. I'll tell you what. Nobody else has ever made this quilt. I just bought a whole bunch of I seen the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit fabric on sale, and I was like, I need to get that to make Jeff a quilt. This was supposed to be his Christmas quilt. And then you can see on the bottom, maybe it is 5 rows, I don't know. It's so damn big I can't fit it. But this says The Hobbit on the bottom. At the very bottom of that panel, it says The Hobbit. So, yeah. Yeah, Jeff wraps up in blankets. I do too, though. I'm just as bad as Jeff. I do too. I have to cover, even in the summertime when it's 90 degrees outside or 100, I'm wrapped up in a blanket, and so is Jeff. And we do have air conditioning in our house, so we usually like to keep a little bit cool. And, if we're working outside, the two of us are really hot, then yeah, we wouldn't. I love this fabric on the back. Look at, it's got all the pictures of all the people that appeared in Lord of the Rings. So, this was a challenging quilt to make. It's huge, but it's very masculine, and this is something Jeff will have for the rest of his life. Now, what I did for the binding is I just took all my leftover pieces and I joined them. And I made one big massive binding, one big long binding with all of the, like you can see, I had joined the bindings together just to change up the color. So I actually cut the strips in half and I joined them in, so they're all 22 inches long basically. I didn't count. I just hope I have enough binding, but it sure looks like I will. So I'm not even going to fret or worry about that because I know I'll have enough binding. Even though it is a big, huge quilt. But it is going to get bound now. But I'm going to put my binding on first. And you don't have to. This is preference only. But I like to sew my binding on top first. And make sure you leave a good tail. So how big is that? 10 inches. And start down from the corner of your quilt. You never want to start at the top. So I'm going to go down a bit more. I just want some room to join my binding when I get to it. So let's get sewing this. Just sew the binding all the way around. It's kind of got frayed a little bit. And I pulled thread out of my needle. Perfect. This is so perfect. I don't like all this lint all over my machine though. Holy cow. This lint is all from quilting these quilts. And I don't like it. It's bugging me. It's a lot of lint. Anyway, that's good enough. Rethread my needle. All right. Okay, let's get her done. So, no particular place. I will try to cut off all these long threads because they're hard to tuck into the binding. I just don't want them sticking out. So I am going to back stitch right here where I start. So I don't know, I left a nice big long tail there. And then we'll just sew it all the way around till we get, see, it's got a lot of long tails of fray on it, and I just want to cut it off. The quilt is so big and so heavy, it's not even moving under the machine. All right, try this now. Good thing I have a big table. And I am sewing this on at a 1.5 inch stitch, or not inch, 1.5 millimeter stitch because I just don't want my binding to ever come off. Because I do sign my quilt inside the binding as well. It's always hidden inside the binding. So if somebody gets this quilt, sees the name to Jeffrey, you know, 50 years, 60 years from now, and goes, well, my name is Jeffrey, I'm cutting this tag off, my name will still be inside the quilt. So I am going to keep cutting off these frayed ends because I don't want to even bother to try and tuck all this in. Oopsies. That went crooked. So I'll just pull it out. I don't want it crooked. No, because it's not going to be smart to have that crooked. You want to have it as straight, because when you go to turn this quilt over, this binding over, and you got too much of a gap, you're going to have a short piece. When you go to roll this over, you're going to have a short piece over there, and you may not be able to catch it. Because I'm machine sewing the top of it. I ain't hand sewing dick. So it'll go that way, okay? Did you make the back on your machine? I made a small one back on my machine. Did you make the back on your machine? No. Did I make the... Oh, shoot. Did I make the back of this quilt on my machine? No, I bought it like that. Okay, come on. Okay, I got a heavy foot. Just likes to cut the thread constantly, which I'm not digging too much. So I'm just trying to make sure that none of these frayed pieces are going to be caught in my stitching. Because I hate trying to pull it out like that. Alright. Jeez Louise. What the heck? Can only go a little bit at a time because I'm constantly adjusting this. So it is a pain in my arse. But it's got to get it done. Can't do nothing about it. Good grief. I hate when the binding frays like this. This drives me nuts. Alright, we're getting close to a corner. So we need to miter our corners, of course. So you're going to sew about right to about the edge, a quarter of an inch away from the edge. Then you're going to back stitch. You're going to take it off. And then you're just going to fold it over like so. Make sure your sides are lined up there. Hold it right there and then fold it so it's going back down the other way. And the fold is right even. So you're even here and you're even here. Okay? And then put it back under your machine. And then you're going to start a quarter of an inch in and a quarter of an inch down from the top. So basically you're going to start where you kind of left off. So about a quarter inch down, and then you're going to back stitch there. Okay, so that's one corner ready. Yeah. And your binding, you can always make it, if you've got a lot of fabric left over, you're best to just make your own binding instead of wasting fabric. Just cut 2.5 inch strips and sew them all together. And I just used whatever I had left, and I had lots left, lots of fabric left. So yeah. Hi, Amy. Okay. This really sucks when nothing moves. Like I can only do a little bit at a time. I'm hoping I have enough. If not, I'm going to be digging in my scrap bin for more fabric. Or more strips. Because I know I have some. I just don't know what scrap bin they're in. Yeah. Well, that one is not. That one got sewed in. See, I hate these stupid frayed things getting sewed in. They're really hard to pull out. Okay. Getting close to the end here. Coming to the end. Back stitch. And break off. Pull it this way. Hold your fingers there and pull it back this way. Fortunately, there's a seam right there, but it's on a bias, so I'm not worried about the thickness. It's just one thickness. All right, and we will put it back under our machine. 1/4 inch down, 1/4 inch in. Back stitch. Okay, now we'll get this quilt turned. Then we'll go down the other long side of it. So, do it this way. Where is my phone? I don't know. I'm hoping to have enough stitching. Oh, that's old coffee. Yuck.
Are you binding?
Yeah.
Are you binding?
No. Don't get smart with me.
Are you bonding with your binding?
Oh, please. No, I don't have time. Sorry. Jeff, bye.
A lot of mail today?
What?
Did Jeff have a lot of mail today?
He just take his vehicle home. Unless you're planning on like last time and not coming back for months.
Oh, I wasn't even that movie.
I had to go and pick my car up from your house because you were coming back in a couple days. Remember that?
Well, I don't know what to say.
Oh, well, I know you, that's all.
I don't know.
I do. I do. All right. Well, I hope I have enough binding. I'm looking at it and I'm getting pretty nervous. Very nervous. Who's that? Oh, wow.
What is that?
I don't know. It'll quit after a while. Oh, shoot. Oh, I just cut my thread again. This sucks. Okay. Pete's sakes already. Oh, jeez. Why did it do that?
You just started putting the binding on that?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Why?
I don't know. It doesn't look like gore on that big thing.
What do you mean? It doesn't. Okay. Come on. No freights. Okay. So this is the other second long side. So I'm rooting for having enough. Hi, Happy. I have a Juki 2010Q. Happy. All right, I'm done with this Facebook. It's not letting me cooperate, so goodbye.
Turn the other speaker off.
No, I'm not bothering with that Facebook today. Forget it. Need a break from it.
Might be the other Bluetooth speaker.
No, it's Jeff keeps disconnecting, so it just tries to keep reconnecting. And it's actually driving me nuts. So. Oh, jeez.
Nobody else on there?
No.
On yours, I mean?
No. They're in chat, though. Yeah. Okay. Yep, still looking good. Still looking good. For binding. Did that cover up? Ooh, but that still shows. Oh my god. My eyes are itchy and everything's itchy on me. Okay. Looks pretty good. Now, getting to the end here. This other corner. Okay. Oh my gosh. My nose and eyes are killing me. Okay, here we go. Now, 1/4 inch away, back stitch a couple, break off your thread, pull back your binding, and make sure your binding's lined up there. That's really important that it's lined up here. So when you fold it back, you line it up with the top as well and line it up on the side. You just carry on. Now, this is the top of the quilt. This does not like to move very easily. It's too heavy. Oh yeah, I have enough. I should. I don't know, the binding just makes the quilt look so much different, so much better, so much more beautiful. The binding really sets off the quilts. And yet it's just this little halfy, kind of 1/4 inchy, 3/8 inch piece showing on the whole quilt. All right. We are getting there. But my job is not done with this binding because I have to go all the way around it again. Uh-oh. Did I feel the end of this somewhere? Nope. Oh, we're still good. Yes. Okay. I think I'm going to have just enough, guys. This one I had to guesstimate how much binding to make. And when I was making it, I was like, oh man, I'm going to have way too much. But you'll see, I don't have way too much left. So we're at this corner. This is our last corner. Back stitch. Break off. Fold it back. And fold it back this way. Make sure it's good there. All right, we're good. Okay, so I don't want to sew all the way up to where this binding is. So I'm going to leave about a 10 inch, at least 10 inches open. And then I'm going to break off my thread, cut it off, backstitch, that kind of thing. I just don't want to join my quilt binding near the corners. It sucks. So I'm going to join it right to about here. And I backstitched here. So now we want to, so this is what I had left of binding. So I think I did pretty darn good. Really darn good. Okay, so I'm going to just cut off this excess. I'm going to keep that in my scrap bin. Okay, so the easy thing to do is line up your binding with your edge. And I'm just going to put a little clip there. And then I'm going to turn it and open it up. So I'm opening it up right about there. And then I'm just going to lay it flat on there. And I'm going to do the same with this one. I'm going to open this one up. So I'm going to lay it flat where it overjoins over top of the other one is where I want to stick a pin in there, because that's where I need to stitch this. Right. So pick it up, right sides together. You don't want to do it too tight, but you do want to there we go. So this is how I gotta sew this together. So I put the pin where I need to stitch, but you need to make sure your binding are lined up straight across, because you'll end up getting it very crooked. So we got it like this. So I'm just going to push this up, and that's where I need to start. To there. And I'm just going to put another pin. I'm going to kind of go down and make sure I go so straight across. So I start here and finish here. And you want to back stitch to join this. So I'm going to drop my needle down right where that pin is. Okay. And then I'm going to take this pin out. And then I'm going to sew it. Ouch. So back stitch here. Pull the pin out because I went directly across. And that should be good. Now you want to cut off all your excess and leave a 1/4 inch seam here. So this is extra. And then you want to open this up and you want to finger press this. Whoops. Finger press this open. Really good. Flatten it, because you will have a little bit of bulk there from the seam. Okay. And then just fold it back over. And now it should fit on your quilt absolutely perfect. You see? Here I have no excess, nothing. So now we'll just finish sewing the binding down, and our binding is joined. You want to do a couple of back stitches here and just carry on, and all your binding is on your quilt. Okay, it's just so much darn weight. I kid you not. And the binding is on. Hey! Hey, isn't this awesome? Okay. Now the fun part is the corners. I'm going to come up a little closer so you can see how to do these corners, because they are very tricky and they take a lot of practice. But once you get that practice down, practice making these, It's super, super easy, okay? So you have a folded corner that looks like this. You see? It's just a folded piece. So I like to usually turn this over and make sure it goes, see, and make sure you tuck in all these threads or cut them off because these drive me nuts. But anyway, make sure all your threads are tucked in. And I do have to do this like this. So push those threads in, fold this over. Okay, so when you get to the corner, let me just put a clip in here. Okay, when you get to this corner here, make sure you see it's flat, straight right to with the point, because now you're just going to take that and fold it over, and you're going to make sure that your two pieces here meet in the middle. And there's stupid threads here sticking out. Jeez. This is frustrating. I don't want them sticking out because that's a hard place to try and pull them out. All right, so do this again. No threads here, which there is. Get lost. Fold it over. You got this that looks like that. Okay, it's on an diagonal. And then fold it over. And make sure where this fabric, you don't overlap it like that. Just make sure that it doesn't hang down past where this side of the binding is. So you want these to kind of meet. Fold it over. Bring it up. And then there you go. You have a beautiful, absolutely beautiful mitered corner. And I'm just going to stick a clip in there. All right. Now, on the bottom here, on Jeff's quilt, I am going to place a pin where I'm going to put the tag. So, for example, we'll just stick it close down to the bottom here. So, I probably should have stitched it on here, but I forgot to. So, I am going to stitch this on real quick. Okay. Yeah, I think about right there in the corner is perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to stick a pin there for a minute. And I'm just going to tack it, and I'm going to follow the same seam that I already have there for the binding. Maybe a little bit over, just so I don't go over. All right, so it's going to stay like that. Okay, and then when we do that, when you fold it over, your tag is in there. Where'd that come from? Well, look at that. I got a little thread sticking out there. Dirty, rotten pygmy. All right. That part's not going to be seen. Okay, so that part will fold over like that. And there's your professional looking little tag sewn into your quilt. So I'll just leave those clips there for now. And let's get sewing this wherever I started that, up here. And I have to sew it from the front. Okay, so I'm going to start here and I'm going to stitch in the ditch. So stitching in the ditch is all I'm going to be doing is stitching. See how this frayed shit doesn't come out? It breaks off. So then you're stuck with all these little tiny threads sticking out. Yeah, I can't fix that. I'm just going to trim it off. Okay. So, take that off. I'm going to start stitching right along in the ditch alongside of my binding, not on it and not on the quilt. I'm stitching beside where I joined that binding. And you're going to take a couple of little back stitches, and I'm just going to follow along, being very careful and diligent about my little corner here. Coming right up to the corner, I'm going to do a couple of stitches just to lock that corner in place, and so it never comes undone. All right, so I'm just going to turn this under as I go. I could sit here and pin it all, and I really don't feel like wasting a whole day doing that. However, I wished I would have done that, because for some reason this did not get locked in. It came off. That's why I was having trouble. All right, so now just turn it under. And then I flip it over to always make sure I catch that underneath. That I catch the binding on the back side of the quilt. You can see my little knot right there, but that means that my mitered corner ain't coming out. There we go. So carry on. So I'm tucking in the crappy phrase too. So I'm trying really hard to stay beside the binding. It's looking really good. Really, really nice. That's a perfect miter corner, guys. I can't tell you, can't stress how nice that looks. Hi, Om. Am I out of thread? Sure sounds like it. Making sure. This binding looks amazing. So I just turn it over to make sure I catch
Incoming message.
all the bottom of it like that. Okay. All right. Flip it over. There's a fuzzy. Let's see. It was my sister wanting masks. Yeah, nope, I'm out of supplies. That's what I said. All right. Carry on. Pulling out threads. Pull that one out.
Incoming message. Maybe Canadian Tire. Is that what that means?
What?
You got a message?
It's from Julie.
Julie?
Yeah.
What?
She wants to buy 4 masks for her boss.
And what'd you tell her?
I'm out of supplies. The truth.
So her boss is in Toronto.
Yeah, she said she would have to send them to Ottawa.
Maybe for Shane and his workers and Jolene and
No.
I can't see her wearing.
Incoming message.
Oh shit. Imagine her having to be on the shit list.
Oh my god, this looks so gorgeous. Oh my gosh. My husband is one lucky soul. That's all I can tell you.
You're also a lucky soul.
Shut up. No one asked you. Get out of my room. Aren't you going home? Bye.
Oh.
Do you like all those teas we get to dump out?
What are you talking about? I'm drinking one now.
One. There's 3.
No, there's not.
There
Sorry.
was 2 in the fridge.
No, there's not.
Oh, you dumped them.
No, I drank one yesterday.
I just looked in the fridge this morning and there was 2 teas in there. There's one behind the other. There was 2 in there. What? Yeah. See? Say okay, sis. Sorry. Yeah, you were right. I'm just making sure I'm catching that binding. I want to make sure I do it before I get this all sewn. Because then I could take it out right away and fix it. So I just got a message. Somebody wants to buy a quilt like that little girl's quilt that I made for her granddaughter. No. I'm making another one.
Is it this one you said was a pain in the butt?
No, it was just out of all my
No,
scraps.
which one did you say you'll never make again?
That pineapple quilt.
Oh.
That's the one I'll never make again. Never.
Somebody.
I am not one for paper piecing. I will never, if a quilt requires paper piecing, I ain't making it. I don't care how
Look
beautiful.
at it. The stuff Jeff and I ripped off.
I don't care how beautiful it is.
The stuff that Jeff and I ripped off of it.
Yeah, remember all those papers you and Jeff ripped off?
Oh, I wouldn't make that again either.
No. No. See, you can't even blame me either.
No. But you should have sewed and ripped. But you don't have patience for that. It's got to be zip.
Yeah. Zippity doodah. Now I found it to be a little bit thin, so yep, I just love it with, guys, this is so beautiful. Beautiful.
What do you need for supplies? What? Who is it? Julie?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. She wants them for Shane, Jolene, Huxley, and Emily. Oh, yeah. Because I think Shane works somewhere. You telling her what you need? Tell her you don't want to do them.
I am telling you that. I am literally burnt out.
You made over 200. Well, you did. One time when you hear from her. You too? I thought it was just me.
There, I said I'm literally burnt out making masks. I don't want to make any more. I really don't. Oh, look, I've even picked the side that has my husband's tag on it. Hey.
What does it say? You're one hell of a lucky guy.
No. Handmade with Love by Ruby Lockwood 2020. The year. I made all my tags. Look, for all those quilts.
Aren't they all gonna wash out?
That's permanent marker. It doesn't wash out of clothing.
It will fade.
It may fade over time, but
yeah.
it's going to take a lot of time. You can't put bleach in this, so you can't bleach out the marker.
Not.
So, yeah.
I don't know why you didn't do it on the machine.
No, the writing's too big. I didn't want it that big.
I thought you could make them small too. Yeah.
What?
You could make it small with small letters. Where'd you have these?
No, you can't.
Where did you have these?
Right there beside me. Yeah. Okay, I need to double check that. Looks good. Okay, so let's fold you over. My corner. Can you get out of my way? Fold this corner over. And fold that corner to match.
You didn't get any tips on the quilt?
What do you mean? I don't know what you mean.
The purple one.
It's going to a child.
I
I found one. Yeah.
Incoming message.
Now you're in for it.
Okay, so I'm at this corner again. Check. Check your batteries.
I don't understand why she doesn't make them. She's got a sewing machine. She's not like me, like, I can't make them.
Hopefully that one didn't pull out like the other one did. Once I took the clip off, the corner came out. Let's have a look. Woo! Perfect! Look at how perfect. So perfect. And there is my sewn in little tag. Right there. Isn't that cute? I think it's Dorbs. Hi, Clint. Okay. I gotta go get a coffee. I need one.
Here?
No, that's from yesterday. I don't want a yesterday's coffee. Pass. Pass, pass, pass. All right. This definitely should get washed and all the little threads will come off of it, but I think it's going to be more comfortable and softer if it gets washed.
Hey, can you see her? Pause. Getting maybe she's listening on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm scared of that someday.
What? What'd she say? Yeah, she always gotta make a joke.
All right, I'm going to get a coffee.
You see her? Boston, Toronto, not having a mask. The big city?
Probably did.
Yeah. What's the question? calling me. I'm going.
Jeff said you don't want to drive his vehicle home. He'll drive you home, but you have to wait till you get it done. So it's up to you.
What's wrong with his vehicle?
Not one thing.
So what's his problem? Why wouldn't I want to drive home?
He said if he didn't want to use his vehicle.
Oh! Thought maybe the roads are icy or something. See?
Yep, I'm going to take it off right now. Guys, just give me a minute. I'm trying to get Tia's
Monitor.
her glucose monitor off.
Is that making you late?
No. Tia, you want some cheese?
No, she's hiding because she knows what you're up to.
Come and get some cheese.
Oh, it looks like her can of tea. Well, when they say it, why didn't you tell them to keep going?
I want to see if I can get one more Come on, get some cheese. Come on, my little love. Oh, the big girl. Oh, the big girl. Oh, the big girl. Who's the big girl?
Gonna breathe when it comes out?
No, it's such a tiny thing. But you need to get me a piece of cheese. Start a new sensor. Okay, this one's no more good. I gotta go, girl. Are you? Are you good girl?
Did she cry?
No. Really stuck on. Good. Okay.
Iggy, poor ducky. I have guts to do things, but
I'm gonna get you cheese. Hang on. Yep. Where? Just anyone. They're not open. Yeah, they're all open. Hang on. Hang on, the cheese is coming. Cheese is coming.
little piece.
There we go.
Yeah, yeah.
See the little tiny needle?
Is that enough?
Yeah, don't give her any more. That's a good girl. Yay! Full 2 weeks. Good girl.
So now what do you do with that?
Hold in here.
No, the leaving thing.
Oh, I gotta offload it to the vet. Now she'll have her 2 weeks. Actually, it was 2 weeks today they put it on her. Now it's expired.
What did you do around the expiry?
Yeah, I got it off. Without even hurting her. And I'm just eating some grape tomatoes. Hi, Mary. So now I will upload the readings now to the vet. And they automatically get sent to the vet. Just making sure. Here's some threads that popped out of the front of the quilt. That I hate when it does that. Good morning, Rajul. Hi, Heather. This is so awkward. Get in there. Come on. hate when it does that. Oh, I'm not going to rip it out for that. There, now you can see. There. I've got a nice hot coffee. Toasted coconut. So good. And reds galore here. I don't want to pull out. Not this one. Or this one. Jeez Louise. Alright, don't want to pull out. I gotta snip it. I'm not gonna fight with that anymore. Good. We're almost to the end. That means I have two sides done. Alright. Fold that over. Make sure it's nice and flat. Pull off these threads because they are going to give me a hard time like they always do. And then we will fold this over. Perfect. Okay. done. So we have 3 corners done. Perfect. Nice, beautiful mitered corner. Love it. I found this, through all the years of quilting, this here technique is the most, I don't know where I learned it, but it's been my go-to one for years, and it's actually the easiest one to do for mitering. People always have so much problems, and believe me, when I first started quilting, I had major problems getting those corners mitered, because nothing I'd done worked. But now they're coming out with so many more easier ways to do things. In quilting, in piecing your quilts, making half square triangles, for making flying geese. There's just so many new techniques as opposed to the old school techniques. Kind of like the ones we're doing in our Farmer's Wife quilt. Oh shoot. I didn't see that. Big fuzzies. I'm not gonna fret over that. Why are you sewing that?
Her all around the edge came, it's coming off. And this is my fingers.
So, not too many talkative people today. Everyone's being very quiet. Nobody in Facebook. We're all good. All right. Get into this. Look at all these threads here. Holy crap. That's sewed. Okay. So, I have decided, oh shit. I have decided that I will be going through my scraps and picking out all the ones that I can make 2.5-inch strips from and 5-inch squares, and then I'll be making, with all the leftover scraps, I will be making my own yardage. So by what I mean is I'll be making it 44 inches wide with all my leftover scraps. So if I ever make a quilt and I need a backing, I'm going to have a crazy backing. Scraps made exclusive, or fabric made exclusively from my scraps. And I just think that backing's going to look so amazing. Like, I'm not going to use big, huge pieces. I want it to be you know, all scrappy, all small pieces. Like things I can't make. If I can't make a 2.5 inch strip, the length of the fabric, 44 inches, then I'll be using them pieces to make my yardage. And I just think it's going to look super cool if I do it 44 inches wide, the same as what normal fabric yardage is. And roll it up. And I could make all kinds of stuff with that. I mean, I can make bags, I can make garbage bins, I can make whatever. Storage bins, you know. And I just think that's going to look so cool as a backing, having all kinds of small pieces all joined together. What do you guys think about that? If anybody's even here, because the only person talking is Clint, so I don't even know if anybody's here. Maybe I'm not even live. It just seems like no one's talking.
Maybe you should check.
I don't know.
Hmm?
I don't know. That is so frayed.
Did it hang off when you hung off the jack?
What? What pets?
Maybe it did something when you Jack tried to connect or whatever.
No. I don't think anyone's awake yet.
What time is it?
I don't know.
Oh.
11 o'clock. Anyway, let me check this. So far, so good. Okay. Okay.
What?
They just love the sound of sewing machines.
Who loves the sound, Clint?
No, somebody in my chat. Ooh, that feels like it's just gonna catch on that side. Yep, caught it, no problem. No problem. So we're coming up to my last corner to miter. down to our last corner, tucking in all these threads. Oops. Everything. Bring it back. Making sure everything lines up. This is very important, how you line this up like that. I'm going to put a little clip in there just to keep it. Check here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, now this is the last side, and this whole quilt's binded. Hey, this quilt's complete. Awesome sauce. I don't even know if this will fit in my wash machine. It's so big. Think this will fit in there?
I don't know. Maybe your machine's gonna jump all over everywhere.
No, not if you put it in there properly.
Oh, I know that. Just kidding.
Oh.
Because there is a sensor on your washer.
I know. Oh, perfect mitered corners. Love them.
So where's the little girl live? Here?
Yeah.
And she's got cancer?
She has tumors. I don't know if they're cancerous. They could be. In her,
Tumors are tumors.
they look like they're in her chest. They had them removed and they keep coming back.
That's what happened with the girl next door. It started in her arm. She hurt her arm and she fell off the bike.
Her name was Jasmine.
That's the girl's name that was next door.
That's what I said. Her name was Jasmine.
Oh, the girl next door.
Yeah, this girl's name, Sydney.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep. The lady even sent me pictures of her chest x-rays.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, I didn't want to see that. Didn't ask for that either.
Well, at least she's being honest, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
But she sent me a picture of her with her daughter in the hospital, and she's all wrapped up in somebody made her an Afghan, a crocheted blanket. And she said, I just wanted you to see that she's always cuddled up into blankets. She said she is going to love this. She said, I'm not even going to tell her. I'm just going to surprise her with it.
When she's there picking it up.
Tomorrow.
Aw. That's going to be hard
What?
if she has her daughter with her.
Well, I'm not going to see them because I'm just going to put it in the mailbox.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It won't fit in the mailbox.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll fit in the mailbox.
Aw, that's sweet.
Yeah, considering she just lost her son not too long ago.
She did?
Yeah.
From what?
I don't know. Leanna said he was in a wheelchair and she just knows that he had some kind of illness and he passed away.
Oh, Leanna knows her?
Yes. She also knows Shane. Her husband works at the mill, but she said he is out helping Shane on a side job today. She said, so I can't come because I don't know how long they'll be.
Oh. So
She makes muffins and she sells them on Facebook. Cupcakes or something, she said. She's got deliveries to make tomorrow.
Oh, I wonder if she's the one that makes those real pretty ones.
Yeah, it is. It is her.
Aw.
Yeah.
Oh, you did a good deed, went to a good deed.
Yeah, especially if Leanna said, Mom, I know that lady.
Aw.
She just lost her son not too long ago. I was like, oh my God. Now she's battling her daughter's tumors. So I said, well, it couldn't have gone to a better family.
Exactly.
Because I'm quite happy with that.
Huh? Good.
Yep.
For you.
And you know what? It makes me feel really good.
Well, you
Because
sure?
it's called Pay It Forward.
Yeah.
Some lady messaged me. She was mad because I gave the quilt away. And she's like, I would have bought that for you. I said, this quilt, when I was quilting this, all I could think about is all the bright cheery colors, how it would cheer up some little girl that was sick or underlying health conditions. How could I even think of selling it? My heart was telling me to give this to somebody, and that's what I did. And I explained exactly like that to her.
Wow.
I'm like, this quilt isn't for sale. I never had any intentions of selling it, I said. This quilt was to be given to a little girl.
And that's where it went.
And that's where it went.
You know that video I sent you of the guy and her girlfriend, his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Well, my girlfriend Pam put an angry face under it.
She what?
Put an angry face under it.
Who did?
My girlfriend Pam. And I was like, why?
It's a joke.
Pam was sitting after it.
All right. Hallelujah. The quilt is done. Hi, Teresa. Good morning. This quilt is done. Oh my goodness. Done like dinner. Wow. Now I just want to make sure I don't have any threads to trim on the front that I could have left on it. Because some of them I did forget to cut some of the threads when I joined it. But I don't think I did. I think this one's pretty darn good. So there's the backing with all the border or binding on it. It's all complete. It is absolutely complete with the binding. This is beautiful. Hey. Okay, now
Try and fit it in the washer.
did I put my name on it? I sure did, Martha. I show you. It's right here in the package, ready to go to the little girl. And I made a label for it that says Handmade with Love by Ruby Lockwood 2020. And it's already in the bag,
Should write her a little note.
waiting to go. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I could write her. I actually have a little doll. I might put a little doll right in here. Because I made like a little pocket there. It's a little card.
I know exactly what it is. I'm just kidding.
Oh, we'll think of something. But, yep, my name is on it. Very much so. Same as my name is on this one. And it is down here at the bottom somewhere. Right here. It's on a tag. A homemade tag. There we go. All right, next quilt, but I gotta go potty now. So I'm just gonna quickly try and fold this up because when Jeff gets home, he's gonna have to go and try and shove this in the wash machine. I think it might be too big for my washer. I think. Look how nice with the binding on it.
Yes, he did an awesome job on that.
Yep, it turned out beautiful. This will last for years and years and years.
Turn it around. No, it's just...
There's little fluffy threads everywhere, but that'll come off when you wash and dry it.
You want to make sure you cut them off.
Yeah.
Good job.
Here we go. That is a very big quilt. Very big quilt. Ugh. There we go. One down. One down. There you go. You see all the beautiful things on it. All right. I'm trying to call you guys. The last time I'm trying. Hi, Phyllis. And you see what that says? TM. Which means these are trademarked. These are very, very copyrighted.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Martha.
Hi, everybody.
All right.
Good morning. You know how long we've been knocking at your door and you said nobody's here?
Huh?
I tried calling 3 times and no one answered. So I just
We
gave
were
up.
all busy. We had things to do.
Okay. I was okay with that.
And we tried calling back and you wouldn't answer, so there you go.
Well, I was busy too. Remember? I was
Yeah, the
quilting.
quilt looks great. I
Yeah.
thought you said you put your name inside the binding.
Yeah, I did. I signed it before I sealed it up.
Okay.
It's inside there. It's very tiny writing.
Hi, Paula.
It's very tiny writing, but you can still see it, and it's done with a permanent marker.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, I gotta go potty break. And then, I don't know which quilt. Maybe I'll do the next biggest, which is my broken dishes. Nope, the broken dishes
This
is
one?
huge.
No, the purple one.
I told her, she said no. Oh well. I'm going home today.
Why are you going out, Betsy?
Well, when my twin gets out of the hospital, I need to do his meds. And he's been at home without a housekeeper because I'm here.
How's he doing, Patsy?
He said he might be going home today. They're going to put a heart monitor on him to wear for a bit.
Okay.
So I'll find out more when I get home. He's not the type to talk on the phone a lot. But I need to clean up and dust. And I want to put new curtains up in his bedroom. And I need to rejuvenate when I get home. I need a break.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh dear.
We love each
So
other.
how's everybody doing on this TGIF? Martha's pooped kitten. I am one poop kitten.
She was alive. Now she's kitten.
I get in that craft room and tidy up a little bit more today. And what, Holly? Meow. Are you telling everybody you say hello? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to take my wannabe pit bull home. She's got 3 little rubber mice.
Today is Friday.
Coco has 3 little rubber mice. And she treats them like they're her babies.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh. She carries them around. She cleans them.
Oh, Shadow, I have been nonstop every day doing something. Last night I sat here for about an hour and a half, 2 hours going through beads.
And yarn and
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
I remember the yarn. I remember, and then
Oh, yep, I went through the yarn.
I remember your head popped up, and I said, "Where's Martha?" The stuff buried her, and then she popped up her head. She goes, "I'm going to the
Yeah, every day I'm doing a little something, but all this stuff that's in my front room came out of my craft room, and it's like, how? How? I got a path through the front room, literally a path. But it's all worth it. All worth it. My craft room is looking spiffy.
Very good. Is Teresa in here?
Yep.
Yep, I've been trying for over 45 minutes to get in.
But there was none running.
Huh?
There wasn't one open.
Yeah, so we couldn't get in.
No kidding. I tried calling, you wouldn't answer, so.
So I do sign the inside. There you go. I signed it May 2020. So, and I'm going to make sure I darken this date, because the date, when they open quilts, they always open the bindings on them to see where they're signed and the year the quilt was made. There we go. Now, this is the one that's going to go here, because this color is in the quilt. So this is what's going to go here. And I think I'll put it right above there. Kind of like right there. So hopefully I can catch it, because I don't want to cover up the 2020. So I'm just going to tack it in place real quick.
I never knew that.
What?
That they put their names in stones where you're going to put the binding.
Well, yeah, because a lot of vintage quilts, they just open up the bindings on the backs to see where the quilts are signed. They're hidden inside they should be hidden inside the binding.
Oh, I never knew that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I'm going to sign it in one more place. Bold. Very bold. So it can never be faded.
Right, Deborah. Why do they need to know when the quilt was made? Why open the binding?
They close it back up. A lot of, well, I'm not saying everyone does it, but a lot of places do that.
Really? Never heard of it.
And they just close them back up. They That's how they tell that they're vintage or when year they were made in, you know.
Is there a certain corner you have to do that in?
I don't know if there is, and if there is, I don't know.
Seems like there would be if they open them up to find out who made them. Seems like there would be a certain corner.
Because sometimes a personalized quilt will get passed down, but the person it went to doesn't have it anymore. Say they died and the quilt just moved on. They didn't have kids to pass it on, kind of thing. The tag will get cut off. People will rip the tags off these, which is stupid, but they do it.
Oh, never rip a tag off. No.
Oh, some people do. Believe me.
Oh, so you put the tag on so they know what the name is under the binder.
No, the tag is already got like made by Ruby and what year.
Yeah, but lots of times once this tag will be on the outside of the quilt. But say you got this quilt and you don't know the person, you would just cut the tag off. Or you stole the quilt. They'll just cut the tag off. Do you know what I'm saying? So the
Right.
tag says nothing. They don't know where the quilt came from. So if they opened up the binding, they usually find it inside of the binding where the quilt was made. And who made it. Just like, who wants to write all over their quilt with a permanent marker? Not me. You know, that makes sense.
You're tacking that down, right?
Oh yeah, it'll go underneath the bind. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta find out which way. I think I have that in the wrong spot. Let me see.
Cynthia says that makes sense.
I've really never heard of anybody signing the inside of a binder.
I hadn't.
You did?
No, I never have. No.
Yeah, I've never heard of it either.
I haven't either. Never heard of that before.
Ruby makes up her own rules.
Okay, you're funny, Martha. Go look it up. I don't make up my own rules. I watched videos on it.
I always try to hide my name and date in my oil paintings. Well, yeah, Shadow.
So do I, Phyllis. Yeah.
My mom signed a couple of hers Dutch because her teacher was calling her Dutch. And it kind of made me mad because, like, who's Dutch? You know, we know who Darlene is, but who's Dutch? I think the one painting I got, she put Dutch on it. It's like, oh my God, really? That's a good idea. I think I'm going to try that too, Deborah.
I mean, people that do get these quilts that end up buying vintage, they pay a lot of money for those quilts. And they pay a lot of money for them because the labels are still intact. It's when people cut the labels off that makes them less quality or not. They're not worth as much. It's like an antique you buy. If you buy it and it's missing things, it ain't going to be worth much. Especially the box, the labels. You know, those kinds of things are really important.
Right.
This way they can't lie and say they made it. Just, you know, they can't. Yeah. Oh, shit. So bad for that. But I am not sitting very proper on my chair right now. I don't know why. Let's get a little more comfortable. This quilt is going to nobody. This quilt is staying with me. Jeff will have his quilt, and this will be my quilt. This broken dishes one. It's nice, it's big, it's warm, and I like it. I just think it's gorgeous.
So what are you doing with the pineapple?
It'll go hang on my ladder with all of my quilts, actually. The only one that won't hang on my ladder will be Jeff's, because he will use it.
Okay.
There's no point putting it there, because the minute I put it there, he's going to take it off. Jeff is like me. We both have to stay covered up all day long, even in the middle of summer. It's like my feet. I have to have slippers on my feet. I cannot walk on my bare floors, bare feet. It just feels so weird walking on a floor with no slippers. I don't know if you know what I mean, but
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
What?
That I'm the same way.
For what? Blanket, slippers?
I have to at least have socks on or something.
Yeah, I can't even stand socks. I have to have slippers. Yeah, I'm a slipper fanatic. I like me slippers. And I like the ones just slip on. This one here with the hearts on it is just, I don't know. It's my most best quilt I've ever made. It turned out nice. The quilting turned out nice. I didn't even mess it up anywhere. I can't even say I did. And all my points were pretty much right on point. I never lost my points. I did really good on this quilt, and I'm glad. So, like, seriously, if you were to sell a quilt and people frown down on you because you charge $700, stop and think for 1 minute. The fabric alone is over $300 Canadian for me. The fabric for this was over $300. So if you want me to sell it to you, say like for $400, I'm making $100 in all the work that I did in this. Are you out of your mind? That's why it's just better off not to sell quilts. That's why I donated that one to that little girl. I feel so good about it.
You should.
I really do. It warmed my heart to know it was really going to someone that desperately needs a boost, you know, to boost her spirits, because all she is in and out of the hospital having tumors removed. And, you know,
Poor baby.
yeah, she's only 8 years old too. So, and her mom said
that's so sad.
yeah, her mom said that they just got word that the tumors had come back. So in the fall, they're going to wait till fall and remove the tumors in fall because they can't do anything right now. So basically, the ones that they removed, they all came back. And she said the chemo is not shrinking them. So I'm just really glad it's going to her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah. She's a really beautiful little girl. She sent me a picture of her, all warmed up in a in the hospital bed with her mom beside her, covered up in an Afghan that someone made for her. Looks like really cute blanket. So, yeah. Well, these bindings took me, I don't know how many hours to make yesterday, just to make these bindings for all these quilts. Because here's the other ones for the other two quilts. These bindings took a while. So, yeah. But this is going to be my quilt. And
It looks very comfy.
yeah, like it's a cheery quilt too. If somebody wants to buy it, I'll probably charge them about $800 for this. I went through a lot
I
of...
don't blame you.
What?
Don't blame you there.
Yep. You can see all the hand quilting I done, all these hearts. These took a long time just to do one row, and I was going through bobbins like crazy on this quilt. And I could tell how much quilting I do by going how many bobbins I go through. And I think I went through 8 bobbins just in this quilt alone for quilting.
There's a lot of cost that goes into these quilts. A lot of cost.
And a lot of work.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm the one that cut it out. I'm the one that sewed it together. I'm the one that pieced it and lined it all up. I'm the one that did all of the work on here. So I don't know how much quilts sell for because I've never tried to sell one. So, but if somebody ever said, "Oh, I'll offer you $500 for that," I'd laugh at them. Considering I paid
no kidding.
Considering I paid $300 just for the fabric alone. Oh, you dirty, rotten pygmy. Just had to move. And to me, these are masterpieces.
Of course. They are.
Now, I need to do a little bit of trimming right here. Oh no, don't have to. I love this little tiny border I put on this. But that little tiny border is so precious on it. I think I made, what were these, 1.5-inch blocks? 2-inch blocks? I can't remember. I think they were 2-inch. Yeah, I think they were 2x2s that I had cut with all the leftover fabrics to make the border.
Wow.
Because the pattern on this didn't call for a border, but I wanted to use up all the, because you got a lot of leftover fabric with this one. And I wanted to use up the leftover fabrics. So that was a good way to do it. Bring that down a wee bit more. There we go. I'm constantly adjusting this, but I have no choice. Now I gotta make sure my tag isn't turned. Or snagged. Jeez. Forever moving this.
Hello, Cynthia. Sometimes I forget I'm on. Olivia, hello.
Hi, Olivia. Ah, jeez.
I have a quilt in my closet, and I'm not sure who made it. Guess I might have to take it out and see if there's a name on it.
See, I gotta kind of be careful because that one here is going to cover up the 2020. I wrote too far, but oh well, I'll fix that. I'll make it so it doesn't go over top of it. Forever adjusting. This was that beautiful ombre fabric too. And my next quilt I'm making is that one that Teresa and Olivia got me, and that one was over $300 worth of fabric right there alone. So 308 actually Canadian. And that one has so many pretty colors in it and flowers and just, oh, the color palette on that quilt is stunning.
The teacup?
No, the other one. The one that Olivia and Teresa got me with the panel.
With the flowers, yeah.
Yes.
Very pretty.
Yeah. I'm going to be so sad when it's all done because then I won't have the fabric to pet. I'll have to pet the quilt. Oopsies.
Rudy, Debbie wants to know what's the name of that quilt, please.
What quilt, Debbie? This one?
You're working on.
This one is called Broken Dishes from Fat Quarter Shop, Debbie. This quilt here, yes, it's the Broken Dishes one from Fat Quarter Shop, and it's a kit. You can go buy it. And I think they still have this kit. Just, yeah, because she did a video. She does a video. That's how they make their money. They do a video on this son of a gun. On the actual block itself. So this block here, as you can see, it's on point. She does the video on this and shows you this, and then below the video it's got a link that you can buy the kit to this actual block that she shows you how to make. So it's a repetitive block. The only thing is it's all different colors, and you have to match up, mix and match your colors. And I don't know if you remember, but I made little piles. I mixed and matched my colors, so every block had a different color of that palette in each one of these blocks. So like I didn't do a yellow center and a yellow over here. I tried to break up so there was different colors in the whole entire block alone. If you remember that when I was making the block. So like in this one here, this is the whole block here from corner to corner. And you could see I left it pink. I left these purple. So that's how I done it. I done the teal, but I changed it up. And then this I left on this side gold, and then on each of the corners I put a different color. So the next one up here, it was so much fun making these blocks because you got to pair up all these, match up all these different colors. So again, here's another block. It's got these housing the middle block, and then these are the greens that I put here, and then each four corners has a different color. So that's what I did for this particular one. In there, they don't show you how to lay out your colors. You got to do that on your own. But they do show you how to make the quilt. That's for sure. Their instructions are completely beginner friendly. I have to say, they really are, because they're so easy to follow. In fact, their pattern is right here for this. For the broken dishes is in here, I know that. I did not get rid of any of my patterns of any of the quilts that I made. So there's the Star Garden. Unfortunately, this one is no longer valuable. Okay, where are you, broken dishes? If it was in a little booklet, it might be in this zipper pocket. Oh, here we are. Yep, broken dishes. See, they didn't put a border on here, so I'm hoping this little border, I still have enough in the binding to make it, because they tell you how much binding to cut. But this quilt here is definitely very easy to put together because of, like, I've read some patterns, and the one I'm going to make that I got the fabric coming for, I showed that to you, Teresa, all that fabric.
Yeah.
The one I'm going to make, the pattern is so freaking hard to follow. It is not beginner friendly pattern. Whereas this is, you cannot get any more simpler. Like, they are so detailed on how to cut your fabrics, how to put them together. Now, they didn't put the blocks in color because they want you to use your brain and mix those colors up according to the way you like them. So you can see their blocks were all done in solid color. See? I did not do that. I did not do that. I preferred them to be mixed like that. It just looks really gorgeous like that. I didn't like it like that. So that's not how I done it. And they even give you pictures of the colors of the fabrics, the number, the block print. It's so easy to follow Fat Quarter Shop's patterns. I'm not even shitting you. Like, every one of them. Even this. All of their patterns are so detailed. You cannot. That's a Fat Quarter one. That's Fat Quarter one. Like, this one here is from Shabby Fabrics. I don't know what it's like. But the one I do want to make, like, I'll show you. I'm not even kidding you guys. It's not beginner friendly, this pattern. Ruben, do you have a video on how to make that bag that holds the pattern? I sure do. I did this live. I made a briefcase. I think that's what I called it. I made this bag with the zipper inside, zipper pocket, and it has a divider pocket in here. So, you know, I've got other stuff in this side of it, and then the front of it here houses all of my patterns that I cut out myself, printed out, cut out, and patterns that are not, you know, bought. They're just ones that, like this one here, I made this pattern, so I kept it. So that's the little clear pocket. I taught how to make this with the zipper on top as well. And and the flap with the snap. But yeah, I showed how to make, what did I call this? A briefcase?
I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I called it a briefcase. And I used vinyl right here. So it turned out. I love this little holder because it houses all my patterns. Except for one, which I wanted to put in here and I keep
He
forgetting.
called me.
And?
He asked me when I was going home. I said,
Why?
because he might be getting out.
Oh.
And I said, well, has your doctor come and seen you yet? He goes, no, not yet.
Oh.
I said, well, when you find out, let me know. And if it's not late, I said, Jeff, and I could pick you up because I'm going home. Like, we're right here, so I'm just going to wait.
You're going to wait for Jeff.
Well, see who comes
So
first.
this is a triangles on a roll quilt book that I purchased from Fat Quarter Shop. And there was a quilt in here that I wanted to make. And I will show it to you. Right here. I want to make this. And I'm going to make this with the Tula Pinks. Tula Pink solids that I got. Right there. It's all... I love this quilt. And it's going to be pretty. So that's a pattern book. This is it here. It's called Confetti Star. This is what you need the triangle on triangle paper from, but I'll tell you what, it does not tell you in this pattern how much triangle paper you need. I had to figure that out myself. So this is why I said this pattern was not worth the money. It was because it is one flimsy piece of paper.
Oh, I remember the day you got that.
And this is it. There's your instructions. Have at her. This is not friendly. It is a beautiful quilt, and I already have all the fabrics coming for this. Yeah, I have all of the fabrics for the, you're supposed to use 40 fat quarters, all dark prints. So you can see they're all dark prints. And then you need another 40 fat quarters in your, so if it's white you're using, but this isn't white. You needed 40 of those. Doesn't tell you, but it does tell you to cut 40 11 by 13 rectangles from half square triangles. Can anybody understand that? Probably not. So I did not appreciate this pattern, but because I'm an advanced sewer, I could just guess. But it is very beautiful. This is a very beautiful pattern. And I'm excited to make it. But I had to order 40 sheets of their half square triangle paper because that's what you have to cut the 11 by 13 piece for. So I even took it out of here and measured to make sure it was 11 by 13 because I couldn't understand what they were saying in the pattern. But this is their half square triangles by 1.5 inch triangles. So you're going to cut an 11 by 13 piece. You're going to place this on it. And then you're going to sew on all of these dotted lines. You're going to sew all of these. So when you cut up that piece, you're going to have, oh, I don't remember. But this is only for one fat quarter. So you need 40 of these too. So what did I do? I ordered... You get 48 half square triangles per sheet. So I had to go back and order 40 sheets of just the 1.5 inch from Primitive Gatherings. I had to order that from Missouri Star Quilt Company in order for me to make this actual quilt. Because all I have here is 10 sheets. And 10 sheets ain't cutting it. You need 40. Because you're doing this to 40 fat quarters. This is your whole pattern. And it was really complicated for me to figure that out. But I got it all figured out now. And I read this pattern. I read it again and I read it again. I'm like, I'm not getting this. Like, I'm not getting how many of these fat quarter or half square triangle sheets I needed. So when I read through the pattern, that's when it clicked in. Lay a sheet on top of the 11 by 13. So, okay, so you want me to buy 40 sheets. Thank God these are not expensive. That's all I'm telling you. They're not expensive at all. I think it was $7, $8, $9, I don't remember, for 10 sheets. So I had to buy 4 packs. So I have 10 extras in case I muck up. But yeah, that's a gorgeous pattern. But it's not beginner friendly at all. You'd have to be an advanced sewer to figure out or ask somebody to help you. Because it wasn't easy. Even my brain had to work at it. But the next one I'm making, I'll show you it. I can't even explain how beautiful the fabric is if you guys don't have it right sitting in front of you. Because this monitor is not doing it any justice. Mm-mm.
Hi, Marie.
Hi, Marie. Hi, Tanya. Wow. I think we've got 3. Oh, shoot. I haven't ran over my binding. Oh, my God. I hope this is enough binding. I was a little bit scared about adding a border because this border is not really, it's not in the pattern. So, yes, it's going to take up a few more extra inches. I just pray I have enough binding because I do not have any more of this fabric. None. So, pray to God. I have one more side to do, I think. Please just be one more side, because if I don't... Oh, God. Yes, okay. And it's the short side of the quilt, thank God. It's the short side. All right. Okay. Oh, dear God. Huh. See, right here, I am going to have to trim this. Because it's not gonna, my binding is not gonna go on. But that is not pretty.
Oh, brr. When I got up this morning, I opened up the door and the window was open, and I was like, oh, that feels good, until I seen the weather. It's like, okay, shut the window.
We got snow overnight.
Oh, you did?
A little bit, yep. But it's cold out.
Ooh.
It's like winter outside right now. I'm like, seriously? It went from being so hot last week to minus temperatures now. Jeez.
Yeah, we're at 44 today, and it's supposed to get down to 26, so
Yeah, that's pretty cold.
good thing I didn't plant you can't buy no flowers anywhere, so
Nope.
good thing I didn't plant any.
Well, our garden center's opened up Friday, today they open up and there's for curbside pickup only. They're considered an essential service. Did you know that? Garden centers?
No, they can't be.
Well, apparently they are in Canada. But they can open up to
At Home
curbside.
Depot, they have the garden center open, but when I snuck my head in there that day I went up there, there was like nothing there.
Our Home Depot's closed. You can only do online ordering.
No, our Home Depot's open.
Not ours. Our Home Depot's closed. All our department stores. Actually, the hardware stores get to open today. The hardware, that's how they're slowly reopening our businesses. Is they started with hardware stores and nurseries. Nurseries are allowed to open with curbside pickup.
One of my friends said that she was going back to work this week, and she works at a nursery, so I guess they opened up. Maybe, unless they're just doing, behind door stuff.
Some of the businesses are allowed to open up to pay inside, which means like some of our nurseries, you can go inside to pay, but there are only so many people allowed in the store, and they still have to have the social distancing in the store. So some stores are prepped for that, some aren't. So they have just strictly curbside pickup. So if they can't abide by the Ontario law, then they have to do curbside pickup only. So that's what I believe some of our garden centers are. Well, good, because I do buy my flowers from Walmart anyway, because they're always cheaper and you can buy a big tray of them for a reasonable price. Like garden centers charge a fortune for flowers for your garden, for my garden.
Yeah.
Hey, I ran out of thread. Shit. Yeah, because Jeff and I, I don't know how many flowers we plant in our yard and pots and stuff. Probably about 200 between the front yard and the backyard. So
Yeah, I haven't planted flowers in a while, but I usually buy about...
if I could buy them for a reasonable price, like a tray full, go to Walmart. Try Walmart, Martha. They're usually really beautiful.
Oh, Walmart, Myers, that's usually where I buy them at. But I usually only buy about 2 flats. And that's good enough for me.
Oh, yeah, we go through more than 2 flats. This year, I think I'm going to downsize on how many plants I put out because that's a lot of work. Just planting them is a lot of work. But they do look so beautiful in our yard. And we are fixated this year on marigolds because we planted those last year and the year before. And I bought every color marigold there was last year, and it just made the front yard look so beautiful. And it's good for your garden to keep bugs and stuff away. That
marigolds are supposed to keep deer away too.
Yeah, the smell of the marigolds, a lot of animals don't like them.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But marigolds, all you gotta do is pull the seeds out, put it in the ground, and they'll grow back the next year.
Oh, I like to put fresh.
I like things to grow back with no effort.
Yeah. I like my fresh plants. Me and Jeff really enjoy that. That's how we spend a lot of time together, is when we open up our yard and open up our ponds, plant all our flowers, and then our yard just looks so amazing. And now it's going to be even more amazing in the backyard because that guy cut down all those trees. Really, honestly, I even went and looked out back and I don't see any pine needles or pine cones all over my deck. Because usually I clean it and it's all right back an hour later. It's a disgraceful mess. And it does look like I have plenty enough binding. So that little border did not affect how much binding I had left. So that's why you got to be careful when you're adding on to kits, because they usually just give you, you know, exactly like Shabby Fabrics. Theirs came with some extra fabrics in it, which was beautiful, because that's always nice to have that extra fabric. All right, so how far down do I want to go? Oh, a little bit further. A little bit further. Is this enough room? Yeah, I'm going to end right here because I got to join my binding. We got to join this now. This is the fun. Okay, so pretty much the same amount of binding I have left is what I had left on Jeff's. So that's beautiful. Love it. All right. Okay, let's join our binding now. So remember, you got to open it so that the wrong side is facing up and the right sides are going to join together. So you're going to open up, there's the right side, like so. And this is how you measure it. You just kind of pinch it right where you need, and make sure it doesn't pull. Like, you don't want to pull your quilt like this. You don't want to pull it. If you make it too tight, you make it too small, that's going to pucker your quilt. So you just got to let it relax and then stick a pin in it. And you want to make sure you start exactly where you poke that pin, like that. So I want to turn this over very carefully, and then I want to line these up, because if these are lined up, then I know my fabric is all straight, like that. Open that up and that up. So just going to pull this pin out a little wee bit, because these are not quite lined up right there. There we go. Now I'm going to stick another pin down, and I'm going to go sort of make it so I can follow where I got to end. So basically from there to there. So let's get that sewed very carefully. So I'm going to drop my needle right where I poked the pin in. That's the important part right there, because that's exactly where I poked it, where I need to sew it. It's getting a little crooked. And I'm going to go right to where the pin is. And she is good. Then we will trim it off, leaving 1/4 inch. Seam allowance or whatever, how much you want. And then you want to finger press these open, or you can press it open with an iron, but I can't be bothered because you can't tell. Just press it open. And then lay your quilt out. And then your binding should fit on here absolutely flat and smooth. Get all the little frayed pieces out and sew her down. She is good to go. I went crooked there. And there we go. You can see where Look where it went crooked. See it? Right there. So I've just fixed it. All right. That quilt has that, but I wanted to show you my beautiful quilt I'm starting next. Which will be tomorrow's job. Oh, sorry, not tomorrow. Tomorrow we do our quilt along with our log cabin. The quilt we've been working on. You know? Hello. Okay.
Yeah, I even forgot the name of it.
It's quilt as you go, quilt along. That's all.
There you go.
Yeah. I gotta move some stuff to get at this beautiful quilt. Oh. I have quite a few quilts to get made here. But you guys know I will. Once I get started into making quilts, I don't stop. And then I'll run out of quilts. And I still love this one. I'm just hoarding it. That's all I'm doing. I'm just being a damn hoarder. I'm so scared that I'm not going to be able to sit and look at this beautiful quilt. I have to show it to you guys one more time. Why not? That one is for the, this was my Sew Sampler one last, called Rise and Shine. I just love this, and I ordered the backing, and I got the backing for $3.99 a yard in Canada. I guess they didn't like the backing. It's Tula Pinks too, called At Home, and that's what this quilt's made out of. I got a big deal, but I'm hoarding this one because it's a Riley Blake called Let's Stay Home, and it's got all these houses in it. It's just so beautiful that I don't know, I just don't want to cut the fabric. It's too beautiful. But this is the pattern. And they even give you additional projects using the rest of the panel, because this panel, you don't use the panel. You're only cutting off this writing that says blessed, grateful, and thankful. And yeah, Amy, this one's gorgeous, eh? So I have had this since last year, and I haven't even made it yet because I'm just being a hoarder. I'm just being a hoarder. It's by Rise, and I got this from Fat Quarter Shop last year. Last summer, I think I bought this. So their instructions are pretty detailed too, guys. And I mean, there's like a ton of pages here. This is, oh, even templates. Oh, and they're on a little thicker paper. Nice. Because this is on thin paper. These templates are on thicker paper. Nice. Nice, nice. So this one here is only 60 by 84, but 84 is pretty long. Bless you.
Oh, I forgot. Unmuted.
Honest to God, guys, look at how, I'm not a red, white, and blue person, but how could you not love this? And what better, this one's called Let's Stay at Home. This would have been so perfect to make through the pandemic because you'll have to stay home. Right? But this panel is so beautiful, and all you're using it for is just for the words. Look at this. Count your blessings. I can't wait to see what this panel's for. I never even went to check it out. But this panel came in this kit, but you only use the writing. These ones, you're only using this. You have to cut this piece off. That's it. They gave you the whole panel. So this says, blessed. I love the fabric. My gosh, it's beautiful. And I'm not a red, white, and blue person, but this is stunning. Look at the fabric. So you have to cut these out, and they explain how to do all that, and then you're left with this whole big, huge panel of blocks, and they give you a project to use them, so you're not even wasting these blocks. But yeah, this is just, it's so gorgeous. Yeah, I love it. I really do. I love the fabrics. All the fabrics that came in this kit. This flower one, like, how gorgeous is that? How gorgeous is that? And, oh, there's a whole bunch of fabrics. They're all tucked inside. There's a lot of fabric in here. Even got red and blue striped, a pale blue and white. I think that's an off-white. It's not really white. It's almost this colory. So this is a quilt kit that I got from Fat Quarter Shop last year. Last year I got a tax refund, and I think I bought a couple of quilt kits with it, and this year I had to pay. Doesn't make sense. Me and Jeff both have to pay. Okay, so put this back. This kit includes fabric and binding to complete the quilt top. Backing and notions not included. Backing. I think this was one that I couldn't get the backing for. Because I don't see a backing here for it, so I guess I couldn't get the backing. No, I don't think it had a backing for me. So I was just going to either use a red or a dark blue backing for this one. Yeah, because this has no backing. Bummer. Yeah, that's a bummer. I can't have the backing of that. That was one of the quilts I couldn't get the backing for. There's a couple of them I couldn't, because they were totally sold out. And this is the one I'm working on next. Look at this, Botanical Oasis. Oh my gosh, this is just so freaking gorgeous. Every time I look at it, it's all succulents, flowers. It's just, look at this fabric. Like, don't you just want to cry? I love this fabric. Oh my gosh. This is an extra 10-inch square set because the girls had sent me money and I wanted to use it towards this quilt. So I bought this because there was enough money to buy this this 10-inch stack of things, of fabric, so I can make a big ass border on it. That's what I'm going to do. Yep. And it's all done in pieces. It's not really all that hard to make at all. It's just mostly cutting and mitering these corners. That's scary. Scary. I have to cut these mitered. Ay, ay, ay. I have to miter those myself. That's scary. I've never done that. But this is the most beautiful quilt I have ever laid my eyes on. And it's got very, very fine quilting on it. So then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do really fine quilting on it. Because if you look, I don't know, you won't be able to see it in the camera because I can't get that close. It goes blurry. This one's got the backing. There's the panel. And that panel is this big piece in the middle here. Oh, this is going to be so much fun to make. Just the colors alone are stunning enough. And I got my Bloomtopia kit, but you guys all know how disappointed and how frustrated I got just trying to cut that out. I gave up on it. I just said, nope, not doing it right now. And I have a couple more other. That's the Bloomtopia, and there's another kit down there. I don't remember what it is. But, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get going. This came in my Sew Sampler box this month. Red, white, and blue. Which I'm not making this quilt. I'm not big on this fabric. It is red, white, and blue. And I will use some of it, but I won't use the red, white, and blue together. I like the red and white. But the blue, I don't know. These are called, what are these called now? I don't remember. These are only half of a... The quilt's pretty, but the red, white, and blue, like, I wish they would stop just giving us red, white, and blue fabric. This is honey, or honey. This is beeswax. And it is for a thread conditioner called Posy Handmade Beeswax. It's a thread. Martha, that would be good for you. Thread conditioner. I believe I bought one. Would you believe I don't know where I put it? I have a brand new thread conditioner too that I got. Where did I put it? Oh my goodness. I don't even know where I put it. It's not in these drawers. Is it in this drawer? No. No. Where are you? Hello? Nope. Oh, I think it's with my beads. Why would it be here in this paper crafting stuff? It's in with my beads. That's right. My thread conditioner. And we got a scallop ruler, but this is not a quilting ruler. It's not one of those ones you can run all over your machine with. That does these designs. So what you do is you stick this down and you draw this design on your fabric. I ain't gonna ever do that. Probably not. And some more alphabetties. But these are double letters. I'm not sure what these double letters are for. I don't get it. They've tried to explain it. I still don't understand what the double letters are for. I just don't. But they can go in with the rest of my alphabetties. Or better yet, I think I'll give these away. Yep, I have no use for those. And this is the scallop waves. So you can do designs here. You can buy additional ones like this from Fat Quarter Shop and they connect there. They have a little end like this and they connect here. And then you would just go along your whole quilt buying a whole bunch of scallops. And it's 2 designs and you can mix and match them. I mean, it's a really cool ruler because scallops are pretty. But yeah, that's called a Jolly Bar. That's right. And this is full of coupons. And this is the pattern called Garden Gala. Now, a lot of people have already made this. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm just not a big fan of red, white, and blue. Oh, the weird's happening again for Martha.
What?
Anyway, I'm going to give these away. Okay, box. Not crazy about it. But I'm not going to cancel because I don't like what's in this shipment. But these alphabetties, they're called expansion pack. 26 double letters, double A to double Z. I don't really need these because I made my alphabetties, so I am going to give these away. I don't know, they're about worth $10, I think. Yep, they sure are. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Why are you waiting for Jeff? Why don't you just take the car?
I'm waiting for Pat. See if he calls me back.
Olivia wants to know what is Patsy's favorite color.
She can answer that. Thank you, Teresa. What's your favorite color? They want to know.
Teal.
What?
Teal
Her favorite color is teal
and purple.
and purple. So these two colors here. Teal and purple. Aqua. Teal and purple. Yes.
Mostly purple.
All right. Don't
Come
piss
on.
around. All right. I'm going to write a number down because I'm giving away those. Okay, I'm going to crumple it up in my hands. I do have a number here. It's on this. And it's between 1 and 50. And I'm crumpling this up. So you got to pick a number between 1 and 50. And when somebody types, one of the moderators types go.
Let me see if I can watch for you.
Go. Yeah, but people are going to think I'm cheating. Because they're going to think, well, here.
We don't cheat.
Well, I don't cheat.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Martha, yep, you can get. Okay, so it's on here. It's in this little crunched up piece of fabric. All right, so the winner will get these little alphabetty expansion
Here
pack.
we go. Go. And what do they have to do?
Type in a number between 1 and 50.
Is that one per person or just till they get it?
Just till they get it. Same way we always do it. Patsy's watching for the number. She sees it. She's seen it. She knows what number this is.
Okay.
So the moderators can jump in too.
Between 1 and 50?
Yep. You don't know the number.
No, I don't. And I really don't need them, so I'll just put in two numbers and I'm done.
And they're both wrong. And make sure it's not anybody that's won something in the last month from me.
So if you've won in the last month, please skip out.
Deborah.
Oops.
Dad's it. Whoa, stop.
Deborah Dezette has the number. Congratulations, Deborah. You won these. And I know you're a sewer, so
Number 32.
number 32 was the number.
Oh my gosh, and I pushed 33.
Yeah, you
Dang.
did.
A lot of people were putting 33.
So this is for Deborah Dezette. I need you to give me your
Stop,
address.
ladies.
Yeah, after a couple months, when I've done my giveaways, see these little things, everybody will be welcome to come back and everyone can join in. So this is for Deborah. So inbox me your address, Deborah, if you can. This can't go in the mail till Monday, unfortunately. It's Friday. And I ain't going to send Jeff to the post office with this. So that's for you, Deborah. Congratulations, hon. I'm glad somebody won them. Because I'll never use these. I will never use these alphabetties. So there we go. Deborah won something. How's that? I still have all of these ones. And the double A's in that, like these are really much bigger for me. Compared to, look at how tiny. Double E's.
Ruby Debbie Baker wants to know if you've heard of the, I think it's Aunt Grace by Julie Rothwell.
No? Don't even know what that is. Honor Grace by Julie. No, I haven't, Debbie. I know all of you guys were dancing around that number with 33 and 31.
There was a lot of a lot of 30s.
Yes, a lot of 30s. Anyway. Oh, gosh. This is only how long I can sit here for. Aunt Grace pattern. No, never heard of them. Never heard of them, Debbie. Nope, I did not. I'm just going to stick these in a little envelope and put a first class stamp on it. And that's how you're getting them. Aunt Grace pattern. I'll check it out. Okay, guys, I'm going to get going here. It's been a blast, but I got to get up from my machine. I'm getting very uncomfortable again. Oh!
Glad to see everybody today.
So tomorrow we'll be working.
Fantastic rest of your day.
And tomorrow when I get up, we'll be starting again early tomorrow, and I will be working. I'll probably finish this quilt in the morning before I even go live, because you guys don't need to see me sew this one on too. They're all the same. I'll finish this one in the morning, and then we're working on our quilt as you go quilt pattern. So this one is I can't wait to cover up in that one. I might even finish it later on today when my back doesn't hurt. I always let it sit. It'll take me a half an hour to sew this down now. And then I can use my blanket. All right, guys. God bless. See y'all tomorrow morning. Quilt as you go. Bye. Hey.
Bye. Bye.
Have a great day.